И всем привет, дорогие друзья, с вами Золото. Сегодня играем таким замечательной игрой nba2k14. И сегодня у нас сразятся две команды. Хьюстон Рокетс против Сан-Антонио Спёрс. Ну что ж, погнали. Я буду за Хьюстон Рокетс. Дюрант, Ховард. А нет, не Дюрант. Тони Паркер. Не Дюрант.
For tuning in this Wednesday's 2K Sports presents the NBA. Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. First for the Rockets, heading the backcourt, Jeremy Lin along with James Harden. And it's center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Ashik in at the four slot. Then for the San Antonio Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your one and your two. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward.
Houston found their way back into the playoffs last season, but really it wasn't because they were a tough team on the road. They only had 16 wins away from Houston last season.
So the Rockets win the tip. Lin dishes to Howard. Back to Lin. And some nice passing there by Houston. Harden can't hit. And Clark, as you were talking about, the Rockets really is troublesome to teams last year when they found themselves in the away locker. Mostly, Steve, it came down to their offense not having quite as much punch.
Well, most teams don't score as much on the road as they do at home, but for the Rockets, 5 points differential between home and away, it's pretty dramatic. I think that was one of the reasons why we saw them struggle when they left Houston and tried to get a win.
And so the Houston Rockets get the first points of the ball game. Splitter kicks to Parker. The feed now to Duncan. Just 5 to shoot.
Да ты что ж не было?
Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Dwight Howard.
I tell you, Tim Duncan turned back the clock last season, didn't he? One of his best in years, and one of his best seasons ever when it comes to blocking shots. For a guy who doesn't get a whole lot of elevation, it's his timing that allows him to be a shot blocker without bouncing real high.
You know, back to
knowledge of the game, one of the great players of all time.
Just such a pro. Yeah, just such a pro.
Not really the start they wanted. They missed 3 of their first 4 shots from the field.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. They are going up against arguably the toughest center the NBA has to offer in Dwight Howard. One problem that Howard poses is his ability to send shots away on the defensive end. He told his players to be fearless and not think twice about taking shots, saying, a lot of the D Howard plays is mental. He just has shooters second-guessing. He might have them third-guessing, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Leonard, the open look. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
Still can't get anything going here after 3 tries.
And that one's good. Lin's got his first points of the game.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
Clark, some tough offensive sets.
Нас ждет Тони Паркер, сколько я помню.
Still looking for that first 2. 0-4 now.
Coach Popovich was fine last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Now here's Duncan. Harden missing his last shot. Here's Splitter. cannot hit. Good D by Harden.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
The basket good off the assist from Lynn.
James
Lynn's
Harden,
got
3
assists
points.
now in this one. And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule...
А че, у них Данкан сбил? Да.
With my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
10-4 счет.
In low to Howard. Kicks it out to Harden. And again, it's the Rockets.
Уже обрадовались, что им трёха.
Can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
А сколько у нас забил Харден? 9 очков.
First trail by 9. Parker inside, defended by Lynn. And Duncan gets it to go on the assist by Parker. And that's now 6 points for Tim Duncan. Rockets have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of
Jeremy Lin,
resting
3
key players
points.
during the regular season. Some of it has to do with the age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years.
Time out.
You look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green. Now, here's Diaw. Passes it to Parker. He dishes it to Diaw. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. In that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job. Boy,
Nice
did they
miss.
ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Houston leading by 9. Harden kicks to Lynn. Here's the 3. Shot is no good.
You know, Jeremy Lin made a lot of strides last season on the court, guys. But I think in order for him to take his game to the next level, he's got to be a bigger and more consistent threat from outside. If he can home in on that 3 ball, I think it'll be much more difficult to defend.
And here are the Rockets now. He passes to Usher. Harden outside. Good on the
Это такой обманный маневр.
Harden's got 12 points in the game. And for Jeremy Lin, his 3-point stroke did improve as last season wore on.
Well, once he got his legs under him, he was shooting over 40% from long range. And that's key when you're playing alongside a guy like James Harden, who's so good with the ball in his hands.
Now here's Ginobili. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Красавчик. Ладно, нормас.
Nice early advantage for them on the glass, guys.
You know, part of rebounding well early is just going after the ball and boxing out. I mean, establishing that tone.
Сколько там уже Джеймс Харден забил? 15 очков.
So that you can maintain it later in the game.
Well, as long as the threes keep dropping for him,
А центровые? Форвард
continue
только 2.
firing away.
And they are dropping for him. What a game he's having from deep.
And
От Паркера.
as the Rockets gain
Да,
possession.
от Паркера.
Here's Lynn. He's got 5. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And Parsons kicks to Lynn. Harden outside. Up 3. And Bonner pulls it down. Poked loose.
Блин.
Here comes Tony Parker. Fires high post. No luck.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
24-13. Первая четверть в нашу пользу.
Rockets lead by 11. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Houston.
Well, I tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And they're getting out in transition, too, finding some easy points on the fast break.
Spurs trail by 11.
Well, it certainly had the makings of a great story. Harden versus his old team, the Rockets coming back with a big Game 5 win. If they could get Game 6, they'd be able to force that final 7th game and maybe pull off the upset, but it wasn't meant to be.
6 to shoot. Ginobili outside. Rockets with the rebound. And here comes Bellinelli leading the fast break. Sinks that one from the post. Bellinelli's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Spurs. Rockets leading by 9. Well, going back to the Rockets in the postseason, a lot of people had them picked to get steam.
3 points.
Steve, they put up a
Так что мы тут проигрываем? Не, мы тут выигрываем.
solid fight and really turned some
Имею в
heads
виду
with
вторую
how they
четверть.
played.
Ой, второй
Well, the
период.
easy answer was because of the Westbrook injury. That's how Houston was able to really take Oklahoma City deep into that series. But I think there's more to it than that. The Rockets have tremendous offensive firepower.
Трёхами решили
I
кидать?
think they're gaining momentum as a franchise. And heading into this year, I think they're one of the scariest teams in the conference.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, Kawhi Leonard, the Spurs' highest draft pick since Tim Duncan, and he's been a starter from his first game in the NBA. Coach Popovich says he's really a special player at both ends of the court. And what makes me so confident about him is that he wants it so badly. He comes early, he stays late, and he's coachable. I think he's going to be a star and the face of the Spurs. Big praise from a coach not known for hyperbole, guys.
Well, Doris, it's hard to put a
Ничего не
ceiling on
было.
it. He does have star potential.
Manu Ginobili is really one of those electrifying all-around players. I mean, he's as fun to watch as any guy in the league. He scores, he defends, has a nose for the ball. He does everything, and usually he packs a bunch of production into short stints of playing time. He's now in his mid-30s. The question becomes for him is health. How much longer can he go at the level he's played
Завтра
at?
2 очка был. 2 очка. Да.
Spurs trail by 9. Parker passes to Splitter. Pass to Green. He kicks to Duncan. Shot clock at 5. Parker outside. It's rebounded by Moniunas. And for Ginobili last season, his shooting percentages dipped just a little bit. Now 36 years old. He's, breaking down, it seems like on a more regular basis. Is he
James
starting to
Harden
fade in your
забивает.
eyes?
Sure, he is, but he's still capable of playing out of his mind on any given night. I mean, and that's what you want.
Тайм-аут.
A guy like that at his age, you're not going to get it every night, but can he
Оставлю это уже.
to help you win games? No question.
31-20 в
showed
нашу
that
пользу.
last year.
Ну не в нашу. Хьюстон Рокетс. Я как бы за Хьюстон Рокетс играю.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's Smith. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
Нормально.
Spurs trail by 11.
Просто защищаться на одну кнопку и кидать на одну
The
кнопку.
drive by Green. Here's Duncan. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Duncan's got 8.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time,
Так, давай,
it
Харден,
didn't work.
отдохни.
Not if it results in that
Теперь
shot.
кидай.
Harden can't hit.
Not the best shot. Long range and with a defender right in his space.
And defensively, that's the kind of work he's known for. I mean, he loves to lock you up.
Rockets
Харден,
lead by
отдохни.
9.
Сейчас
Well, I
кидать
think this
будешь.
is one of the more amazing stats in sports when you think about it. No matter the season or the roster, the
Я же
Spurs
говорю,
just
надо
seem to
дохнуть
find
просто ему.
ways to win 50 games. They've done it 14 straight seasons now, which is off the charts.
And here is Parker. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Parker kicks to Green. Launches a three, and that one's good. Green's got himself on the board with three there.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three.
Этих же всех я ставлю. Я в третьем периоде поменяю.
And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And Clark, as you said, the Spurs last season hitting 50 wins for the 14th consecutive season.
Нормально.
By the way, that's an NBA record. Second closest were the Lakers with 12 straight speed from 79 to 91.
Yeah, 58 wins last season for San Antonio. Greg Popovich calls it corporate knowledge, just the consistency that comes with the experience of the group. And they've been together so long, particularly that core, that I think it allows the Spurs to really kind of cruise at times during the regular season. He just couldn't shake loose. He had the defender draped all over him.
Parker, right side. And that is good. And now it's only a 5-point Rocket lead.
Well, they really started to come on here in the second.
Playing much better here, guys, and it looks like they're
Harden,
starting to
давай.
make up some ground. We'll see if that can continue.
San
Ну, ничего,
Antonio's
нормально.
gotten both of their 3-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Ginobili left side. Lets it go. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Houston leading by 5. Garcia with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. Money in his kicks to Harden. Another miss by Harden.
Boy, guys, it was a tremendous all-star season for James Harden a year ago. LeBron James declared Harden a superstar. No small praise from probably the best player in the world right now. And I think people are coming around to accepting that Harden really is a superstar player. Good!
Ну,
Well,
просто.
it's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Не скатились.
Kawhi Leonard is checked in for San Antonio. And 101 left in the first half. And for Harden, signing a 5-year, $80 million extension with the Rockets last season, the Thunder felt they just couldn't afford to pay him that much with the luxury tax penalties looming.
Смит забил.
Well, they already had max players in Westbrook and Durant, so they didn't feel going forward that they could have 3 max guys. So Harden moves on to Houston. Turned out to be an excellent move for the Rockets. He played awfully well last year.
And that one's good. Duncan.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Money in his kicks to Harden. Offline with his 3.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Leonard attacking. And down it goes. Jamming that one home.
Now, how exciting is it, guys, to see him go hard
Я
for the
забил
basket
там
like that?
вроде Грин.
Always fun to see, and it's one of the
Вроде.
sights
Я точно не помню.
you can count on when he's out there, for sure.
Yeah, but you've got to try to do more to slow him down. You
Сейчас,
can't
сейчас.
play him so
Это просто
soft
время
near the
нужно
hoop.
надо продержаться.
Harden dishes to Moniunas. Back to Harden. From the line. That one wide left.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
Нет!
And
Мы
he
проигрываем.
slams it one-handed. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go Clark right by.
I think we might be.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And now it's time to break down the first half for you here on this Wednesday
Team Duncan.
edition.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Visitors travel on
Лучший
foot
игрок
and
пока что
by
признан.
boat along the gorgeous Riverwalk here in San Antonio, Texas. Welcome back, everyone. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Boy, he put on a show from the three-point line in the first half, didn't he? We'll see if the halftime
А
break
почему наш мяч?
had a cooling effect on him.
Yeah, we'll soon find out because I guarantee they're
Может,
going to
мяч
keep
перед
feeding
этим.
it to him behind the arc until he does cool off. Tell you what, you got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit, guys. After losing their franchise players to injury and age back in '09, they managed to rebuild this team without tanking for lottery picks or going all the way to the bottom of the heap. Very impressive.
Puts up a three. Offensive rebound. Another shot. The shot goes in as the ref calls the blocking foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
Давай, еще
Well, they
фол
certainly
будет.
didn't have much of a problem getting the ball
Нормально.
into the post that time.
Well, that's important because this game, I think, is going to be decided by
So
who controls the paint in crunch time.
And for the Rockets, they've been very shrewd acquiring undervalued players, trading for
Из-за того не
draft
кидал.
picks. Steve all in the hopes of swinging big trades for superstars.
Well, and then when they acquired James Harden, they finally got a cornerstone player. Now all of a sudden you throw in Dwight Howard, you've got another foundational player. So all these years of tinkering and trading and moving picks and moving players, it's finally paid off, and now he's got the team he was hoping to put together.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, last year, Greg Popovich received a
Ничего
$2
типа.
million fine from the league for sitting out his starters in that game against Miami. They cracked down, but it wasn't the first time he'd rested his top players on a back-to-back. Pop explained the philosophy this way, saying, quote, "We're making a wiser decision and not a macho decision. It's about health and safety of players so that we have a shot at the end of the year. If I was taking my son or daughter to the game, I'd be disappointed. So I understand that perspective. Hopefully, they'll understand my perspective. My priority is the basketball team. And
Опа, что не ожидал?
guys, it's always a balancing act."
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Well, you know, for Dwight Howard, guys, I think it had to be a really tough decision to leave the Lakers. But ultimately, he decided he just didn't like the fit that was carved out for him there.
Вот там так не было фолов, да? Там так не было фолов.
Seemed to be a lot of infighting and drama and dysfunction. He just decided he was ready for a new start.
Harden to pass to Howard. Houston moving it around. And Asha kicks to Parsons. On the wing, Harden. Well, it was only a matter of time
был 2
that
очка.
finally get the bucket. Harden's got 25 points. And for Howard last season with the Lakers, it was surprising how
Тайм-аут.
Kobe and
Сейчас
even
игроков
Mike
поменяю.
D'Antoni publicly questioned the
Которых
right.
я думаю, что самый
He
лучший
sat some
это
games with injury,
тут этот.
but we know that he was debilitated with
Тут
various
Клин
ailments all
будет.
year long.
Yeah, that's normally not done, Kevin.
Тут
Certainly
Харден.
not in public anyway. And that may have been kind of the straw that broke the camel's back as far
Думаю,
as
так.
Dwight's decision to move on
Пусть
from
так, только
LA.
четко будет.
And the Rockets making a change here. Beverly's checked in. Parker drives in. Pass to Duncan. And boy, that looks like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Boris Diaz checked in for Sporting. Beverly dishes to Lynn. On the wing, Harden. The basket goes.
Опа,
The assist for
3
Lynn.
очка.
And that's now
Харден сравнял
28
счет.
points
Сколько, кстати, Харден забил? 28.
for James Harden.
And that's his first three of the second half after really lighting it up beyond the arc in the first.
Stolen by Jeremy Lin. For the finish. Finishes the break with a slam.
Boy, I love it.
Jeremy
Active
Lin.
hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
Забрал мяч у Грина.
Guys, this is just too
Заданчик.
close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
There's Green with the three. Cannot hit. So Houston will take it the other way. They held a 12-point lead earlier.
Guys, every season it seems the Southwest is loaded with teams that can contend, and last year was no different. Through it all, however, the Spurs were able to separate themselves from the pack and take the division once again with a 12-4 division record.
Stolen by Jeremy Lin. Makes the lead pass. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. Feeds to Beverly. Harden outside. And he's good on the three ball. And now a 7-point Houston lead. And for the
Теперь
Spurs,
Сан-Антонио Спёрс проигрывает на 7 очков.
Steve, actually the 6th time since the inception of the division that they have finished at the top.
And even with Dallas falling off a little bit, the division was pretty tough, Kevin, with Memphis and Houston coming on strong. Well, for a while there, it had been a curse to win the Southwest, because since 2007, teams that won the Southwest lost 4 times in the first round of the playoffs. But obviously the Spurs have bucked that trend the last couple of years.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Now you can tell what the crowd thinks about that call.
Yeah, they erupted as soon as the whistle blew.
Shot to stop the run. Bellinelli gets the bucket.
Нормально.
Bellinelli's got 7 points.
He's doing his best to carry him, fellas, but he can only do so much. Things would be different for them if he was getting a little more help.
From deep Harden, but they'll get another chance. Moves back up. Rebound San Antonio.
Ну нормально.
Bonner's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Хоть попробовал.
Bellinelli off the pick from Diallo. Parker outside. Dwight Howard pulls it in.
Seems like every year, guys, you look at Tony Parker and he's found something else to add to his game. He's always improving.
Another miss by Houston.
But I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively, they desperately need a basket. Yeah, he went for a little extra on that one.
Well, he usually doesn't finish soft. Obviously, you know, he can when necessary, sure, but not that time.
Not when he can throw it down like that.
Last season for Tony Parker, arguably his best ever. 20 points a game, almost 8 assists.
Harden тупой.
52% Steve from the field, and there was even talk at midseason about maybe MVP consideration.
Well, his ability to score inside around the rim is amazing, but he's also become a master of knocking down the jump shot from that 15 to 18-foot range. But really, this team has been built now around Parker. Their offensive strategy completely tailored to suit his talents.
A shot by Bellinelli, no good.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those
Держи!
It's stolen by Green. It's thrown down hard with both hands.
Yeah, he didn't even bother to wait around for any help on that break.
That was a one-man job all the way, Steve. He knew what to do with it and when.
Parsons passes to Harden. From outside, off the mark. Spurs trail by 5. Green. And yes, sir, that one drops. Green's got 4 points in the quarter.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
From deep Harden. Yes. And a nice assist from Lynn. Lynn's got 8 here in this one already. And Bellinelli kicks to Parker. Dishes it to Bellinelli. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Bellinelli's got 10 points. Howard, the pass to Harden. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. For San Antonio, they've gone 8 of 16 in the third quarter to put their second-half shooting percentage right at 50%. Gets it to go.
Well, the shots finally dropping for them in bunches, and I'll tell you what, the complexion of this game has totally changed.
You know, that kind of offensive eruption was the only thing that was going to get them back into this one.
So it's the Spurs now. It's a three-point game. Parker kicks to Bellinelli. They get it again to tie. No good on that last second attempt there. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-to-neck game. Rockets ahead, leading by 3. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Houston.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
The other thing that jumps out to me is just the big number of assists they've had. The offensive efficiency has been a major factor.
Parsons against Green. Here's Leonard. It's good. This game is all even.
59.
Leonard's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Spurs. Harden right side. The the basket good off the assist from Lynn.
61-59.
His ninth assist in the game now.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's special because he lives for the big moments. Fearless. I mean, he will take any big shot down the stretch. He wants the ball in his hands.
And he is also so good at getting his hands on the ball without fouling. And opposing players on his way. That's a real knack. Excellent hand-eye coordination makes that possible.
5 минут продержитесь.
So for the Rockets, Smith comes in for Omer Asher, and it's Garcia in for James Harden. Shot clock at 6. Here's Ginobili. Nice D from Garcia.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job. You know, with all the hype that Linsanity got during Jeremy Lin's breakout season, it didn't really do him any favors on the court, guy. In fact, I think you could easily argue that he's been playing with a target on his back for opposing guards who would like to have a big game rather, against a star like Lin.
Parker kicks to Ginobili. Ginobili left side. Outside Leonard. Launches it. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got his 5th rebound in this one. And getting back to Jeremy Lin, I think with the attention he got in his breakout season, it also brings players wanting to measure themselves again. Saying, let's see how good this thing really is.
Yeah, that's part of it. But I think if you ask Jeremy, he'd rather be playing and having that challenge than have it the way it was before when nobody knew who he was or really respected his game. How many times have we seen him do that? Just batter a defense with his ability to explode to the basket.
The dish to Parsons. Leonard with the steal. Parker passes to Ginobili. Back to Parker. Kicks it to Leonard. And coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle.
Какой фол? Ничего ж не было. Хорошо, что он ничего не забил. Во, все.
Believe it or not, he's the Spurs' highest drafted rookie since they took Tim Duncan, #1 overall back in '97. It just shows you the legacy of the Spurs' success over the years.
And the Rockets making a change here. Ashik's checked in. And going back to Kawhi Leonard, he earned minutes in Coach Popovich's rotation from the first game off.
And part of the reason he did, he's got great versatility defensively primarily, but he's a quick learner, a quick study, understands things, doesn't take long to pick things up. And when you're a first-year player, that can separate you from a lot of guys and get you in the rotation, especially with a veteran team like the Spurs. Well, I tell you what, that Southwest division can be really tough. Seems like there are always at least 2 title contenders in the division and 3 to 4 teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. The Rockets felt the toughness as they went just 6-10 against the rest of the Southwest.
Pocket 6. And the pass to Parker.
Красавчик.
Well, he hasn't had
Ладно,
much
нормально.
shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
Spurs trailed by 3. Rockets Clark against the Southwest 6-10, as you said, and those losses were big as far as playoff seeding was concerned. Steve, very hard playing in that division.
Well, it toughens you up in a hurry, that's for sure. I mean, the Rockets still have yet to win the division title since it first came about in 2004. They've been in the hunt and they've made the playoffs, but they've also been going against some dominant franchises in San Antonio and Dallas.
From deep Harden, and that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard.
69-65.
Harden's got 43 points.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Here's Leonard. No good from outside.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide-open opportunities.
Надо было идти под
And
кольцо.
Parsons kicks to Howard, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Boy, that's embarrassing, guys. He's going to have a hard time living that one down later when they watch it on tape.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. San Antonio calls timeout. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
He's dialed in from long
Ладно, я
range.
этих оставлю.
In his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He loved the work they were doing on the interior, saying, listen, they've got no answer for us inside, and we're not going to let them off the hook now. Keep pounding it down low.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Ginobili. Can't get it to go. Good D by Howard. Houston leading by 4. Trying to find Aship. Gets it to him. And that one's good.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
71-65. Пользу Хьюстон Рокетс.
Forcing anything, but moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Parker kicks to Duncan. Duncan right side. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag.
Lynn, covered by Parker. Howard dishes to Lynn. Here's Parker. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Timeout call for Rockets. They lead by 4. 1:27 left to play here in the fourth. And it's the Rockets with the ball. Lynn the pass to Harden. Rejected by Ginobili. And out of bounds, San Antonio gains possession.
Банка. Одна минута 22 секунды остается. Острый. Какого фига? Средний же.
Houston on the break. Lynn's running. Harden's shot is good.
And the defense paying instant dividends. Fast break basket.
Yeah, that transition was immediate. Didn't waste a second getting out on the break.
Splitter kicks to Ginobili. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Ginobili's got 4 this quarter.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
Good. And the Rockets lead by 6.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Parker dishes to Ginobili. Nails it.
Нет.
And now they trail by
Поддержаться нужно.
4.
Да ты кому? Нормально.
After really a rough first 2 quarters.
46 seconds left in the fourth. The Rockets have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. Parsons passes to Harden. Houston moving it around. Lynn kicks to Harden. Yes!
Красавчик.
Nice assist from Lynn.
16 секунд остается.
They are not letting up, guys.
78, 71.
I'd say that lead is too big to overcome at this point.
Harden left side.
Нормально, обычно
He
не так.
feeds it to Lynn. Shoots the 3. Hope they get it back. Howard dishes to Parsons. Left side, Lynn. Tries again. Nice D from Ginobili.
4.
Misses the
Есть.
so we see the
78-71 в пользу Хьюстон Рокетс. Да.
respectable performances on both ends of
Я
the
напоминаю, Хьюстон Рокетс и Сан Антонио Спёрс 78-71 победил Хьюстон
This
Рокетс.
is Kevin Harlan. Thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game.
Ну а кому понравилось данное видео, ты можешь подписаться на мой канал и поставить мне лайк. И написать. Кстати, лучший игрок Джеймс Харден в данной игре. Если тебе понравилось данное видео, поставь лайк, подпишись на мой канал. И пиши мне в комментариях, чего ты хочешь, чтобы я еще в какие игры поиграл. Да. Не знаю, что еще больше сказать. Все. Всем удачи, всем пока-пока, ребята. С вами был мистер Гутрон. Пока-пока.